Midfielders, the crucial aspect linking the defence and the attack. But it's not just one position. There's a number of different roles if you are a midfield player, such as the defensive midfielder, the box-to-box midfielder, and also the playmaker, the player who's going to get on the ball and dictate the game. Today we're going to have a look at the different roles of these players, their positioning and their techniques to help you develop your game and play in these different roles in the middle of the pitch. The defensive midfielder has a hugely important role in the team. The job is to try and screen the back four, preventing those forward passes into either the attacking midfielder or the striker playing further up the pitch. If those passes get in behind the defensive midfielder, the attack is more on the defence, so that defensive midfielder's positioning is really important. Positioning themselves where they could potentially intercept those passes forward and even prevent them. And if they prevent them through good positioning, stopping the ball getting into these two attacking players, the ball is then in front of that defensive midfielder, and it's much easier to read and much easier to then protect the goal. If the ball's not in the central area and has been moved out wide, the defensive midfielder will need to track across the pitch. And again, the main aim is to prevent that pass going through to the attacker and hopefully keep the ball in front of them. So here the attacker could make that quick dart in behind, but if the defensive midfielder is positioned well, almost just in between the centre-back and the full-back, they can prevent that run, or that ball getting passed through. But the other option then would be for that winger to play into the central midfielder. In this situation, it gives the time for the defensive midfielder to step across, protect that back four, and keep the ball in front of them. The positioning of the defensive midfielder is key. Placing yourself in an area where it's hard for the midfielder to pass forwards through the lines while also protecting the defence. And the main aim for us is to try and keep that play in front. If we can do that, we're going to keep the ball further away from the goal, protect the back line and reduce their goal scoring opportunities. It's important to be controlled playing in this defensive midfield position. If that ball gets played forwards into the attacking midfielder ahead of you, get in a position where you can be goal side and force them back in the direction that they have come from. If we do that, we're keeping the ball further away from goal, making sure we're reducing the danger and the trouble. But what we must not do is overcommit. If we try and step in too early and nick that ball away, there's a chance that the player can get on the ball and turn, driving at the back four. If we can win the ball, try and nick it, but if not, be patient and then force them back in the direction from which they've came. Another role for the midfielder is being a box-to-box player. They are all action, defending and attacking, looking to score goals while also prevent them. And one of the key things for a box-to-box midfielder is making sure that when attacking, that they get in the penalty area, looking to get onto the ball to try and finish off any crosses, any deliveries into the box. So a big thing about box-to-box midfielders is their ability to get the ball out wide and then make runs into the box as well. Another aspect to it, though, is the defensive side of the game. They are all action. They make sure they track runners, and it is really important that there are a lot of recovery runs. So what we want is players who can sense the danger, see the deep run from the opposition midfield, and cover that and track it, making sure that their player doesn't have a free run through onto goal. As we can see here, the red player is making that run forwards into the space between the centre-back and full-back. If those two players don't notice it, it's important for that defensive midfielder or the box-to-box midfielder to run across and cover that area, making sure that they stop that through ball and protect the goal. As the ball is played in from the wide area, the central midfielder can follow that run, preventing any danger. To play as a box-to-box midfielder, you need to have good energy levels, and recovery runs are very important. If you break forwards, as we can see here from the yellow highlighted player, we need to make sure that we are ready and prepared to recover. If that ball gets lost as you've broken forwards, you need to be making sure that you get back into an area to support your teammates again. Playing positive passes forward is a key aspect of being a deep line playmaker. If you receive that ball in the middle of the pitch, can we break through the lines with a direct and positive pass, while also being able to play the ball out diagonally wide into the feet of those wide players? When we do this, we can also go to support, so that deep line playmaker can then support the wide player, wait for the setback, and then deliver a dangerous ball into the box. But the key thing is being positive in your passing, getting it moving forwards and being direct, playing it into the feet of those attacking players. There's a number of different roles for the midfielder, but no matter what position you play, you can learn different bits and different attributes from each of these different roles. So make sure that as a midfielder, you recognise the areas you're best at, but then can you try and develop different parts of those areas of the game into your own? So can we position ourselves better? Can we deliver better balls into our strikers? And can we look at getting in the box to score more goals and also to help defend for your team?